Hello and good day. Welcome to this unbox review from another product which we've just received from a supplier. And it is a Kirisun product. It is their DMR, newly DMR radio. It's called UP305. In this case, it's a UHF 4-watt version. I'm sure there's VHF 5-watt versions available that look similar. Okay, so just get right into it and see what is in the box. Okay, looks like a lunchbox almost with this packaging. So let's start looking at the radio itself. It is very small. I must tell you, it's a small radio. I do like it. It sits nice in your hand. It still has the old style 2-prong connector. It is nice and small. I see that the top is a channel selector and obviously the switch power on and off. Something there, I'm not sure what that is. The buttons on the side, if I can just bring it closer, is volume up and down, PDT, and then obviously a spare button. Looking at the bottom, I can see that they have an indent there for the battery. Okay, so that's as far as the radio goes. Let's fit the battery. First have a look at some of the spec on the battery. I see everybody is standardizing on lower voltages. I've even seen radios with 3 volts, 3.6 volt batteries. Anyways, these are 7.4 1200, but small in today's world, but nice and flat, I must say. It suits the radio very nice because it's nice and flat. I do not know whether there will be a higher capacity battery. Being that said, this is a 1200 7.4 volt battery, and the fitment on the radio, what I've noticed before we carry on is that the belt clip has already been mounted. The belt clip is obviously part metal, part plastic, and I like the fact that it's already mounted. Yes, thank you. That saves a lot of energy. It takes 5 minutes more at the factory, but you know what, you can take the product out and it works. You don't have to assemble it. And I don't know, for those of you that have seen how difficult it is to get those little screws not to cross thread when you're in a hurry. Yes, this is actually very nice. I do like the fact that the screws go through the housing into the chassis itself and isn't just on the battery or just on a plastic part. So that is good. Okay, let's have a look and see. The battery clips on very easily, sits very nice, and even with the battery attached, it feels good. It doesn't feel as if the radio is big and bulky. I don't have extremely big hands though. However, they are a bit fatter than the normal oak, but it sits snugly in my hand. So even for small people, I think this will be a good option. There's an SMA antenna socket. Which is good. Let's have a look at the antenna before we fit it. And it's a full band antenna. So you see it's 400 to 470. How good it actually performs, I don't know. Maybe I will, at the end of the video, just see what the curve is like on this antenna. Okay, so with the antenna intact, the antenna is roughly the length of the radio. Okay, to put that aside, let's have a look at the charger. I do see one thing though which bothered me. If you look at the charger, it is a 9 volt input charger. just makes me so sad that people go through all the design phases to do this, to make such a nice device, and they don't think of everything. These days, with USB becoming USB PD, everything is moving in that direction so that you can have a specific USB or a USB charge charging everything. And I've seen some of the two-way radios actually adopt that standard. So it is sad to see that they've still opted for one of these. I'm not a designer, so I suppose there is a reason for it. I just don't know what it is. Nevertheless, this is their design, and very small transformer of 1/2 amp. So 1/2 amp at 9 volt, it's only 4.5 watt. It means this charger will still take over 2 hours to charge this radio on this small battery. So if there's a bigger battery, it may take longer. Okay, let's have a look at the other thing. How does the radio sit inside the cradle? It goes in easy. There's no problem with it. And judging off the space that's still available there must be, I don't know why they have a space there. Maybe it's for different models, I suppose. But there is some space at the back to put in a thicker battery. I don't know if that's the reason. It does seem to fit sturdy, even if you use it in a car. But now, just saying that, I cannot use a USB charger in a car because we have a 9 volt, you turn it like that, 9 volt supply. So now I can't even make myself a cable that plugs into the cigarette lighter. Most cars come with a USB outlet, so I can't do that. I now have to make a special arrangement or get a workshop to do so for me. So that's the pros and the cons. I'm quickly going to pause the video, maybe just put the antenna analyzer on and also just see what the charger indicator says, because on the back of the battery it doesn't say anything on some of the indicators. Okay, I do have my antenna analyzer here. I have noticed that the battery is slightly flat on it. Let's see how long it'll allow me to do a test on this antenna. So let's just do a scan. It is adjusted for UHF, middle of the band somewhere, and let's just do a scan and see. I do have the antenna fitted there. You can see just while it's scanning, it is connected, and it shows you the curve of this antenna. So it seems like it is very poorly tuned. So that's the curve of this antenna. Not good at all, not good at all. But yes, that is the curve of it. Okay, so we have our charger plugged in. One thing I must say I do not like is the fact that I had to find a 2-pin adapter, which is annoying if you're not used to having such things around. Okay, so the charger is plugged in. I like the fact that it shows that there is power, so once there's no power, obviously the light will be off. Could be confusing though, because if you do happen to put the radio in wrongly, you may not have any clue that the radio is charging or not. So let's see what happens if we put it in charge. It is red, and I assume when it gets full it will go green. So my problem with that is often people will put a radio on charge, they will not look and see what they are doing, so they'll quickly come, put the radio on charge, turn their backs, walk away, come back, oh yes, the battery is full, because especially if it's in like that, yes, the battery is full, quickly take it off, and then the battery is actually still flat. So this is good to show that there is power coming in. Problematic if it's something like a solar site. It means it's constantly drawing some power, although minute. I don't like the fact that you do not know what the difference is between charged and not charged, charged and battery not connected. Yes, I must say I think that's an oversight from them, maybe a design overlook, or maybe just cutting costs. Apart from that, I do seem to like the radio. It is very nice and small, especially for DMR. It is nice and small, obviously a one chip radio, and yes, it is probably low cost, good quality for the cost, I would imagine. The mic sits there, not part of that. That's my review on this Kirisun UP305. I like it because it's small. I don't like it because there's a few other features. Another problem, which could be a problem, especially if you've got big hands like myself, to get down to the volume up and down, you may need to shift the radio to the top, and it could happen that you drop it. That was the nice thing about the volume that sits there. You can always just, turn it up and down. I did not turn on the radio. There you go. It enunciates, of course,
one,
like all the Chinese stuff do, or all the newer stuff does. And it's got a tricolor LED. Okay, thank you everybody for watching. That is my review on the UP305. I like it. It is quite nice. Obviously we have to learn what all the light indicators mean. What I don't like about it is the fact that the charger could be problematic. The antenna does not seem to be such a good antenna, and you may opt for putting up a different brand or even a generic one. There is no cutting chart on it. This is also not removable, and as far as I'm concerned, I think you could have a problem if your frequency is selected and the antenna does not radiate in that specific place. But apart from that, I do like it. It's nice and small. I do see that the market will have a few of them, as it's priced right, and it is DMR. Let's see what it does. Thank you for watching, and have a super day.